In the heart of a vast alien city, a grand arena filled with alien spectators buzzed with excitement. Bright lights shone down, illuminating the arena's center, where a powerful alien leader stood tall. This leader, named Zorak, was known for their fierce strength and commanding presence. They raised their voice, echoing across the arena, mocking the humans who had dared to enter their territory. "Look at the tiny army!" Zorak laughed, their voice dripping with disdain. "What can they possibly do against us? They're nothing but a speck in the galaxy!" The crowd roared with laughter, their eyes sparkling with amusement. Many aliens pointed fingers at the small group of human soldiers standing nervously at the edge of the arena. The humans wore their military uniforms, but they felt small and out of place. Among them was Captain Sarah, a determined leader with fiery red hair and a fierce look in her eyes. She could hear the jeers and felt the weight of her soldiers' doubts. They were only a handful, yet they had come to prove that humans were not to be underestimated. "Stay strong, team," Sarah whispered, rallying her troops. "We have a plan. Let them laugh now." Meanwhile, Zorak continued to boast. "These humans think they can challenge us? They have no idea what they're up against." Zorak flexed their muscles, and the crowd erupted into cheers. The alien leader reveled in their power, completely unaware of the humans' true potential. As the mocking continued, a group of aliens in the crowd exchanged worried glances. They were part of a rebel faction, unhappy with Zorak's leadership. These aliens, led by a brave warrior named Lyra, believed that the humans could help them fight against their oppressive leader. Lyra watched intently, seeing the determination in Sarah's eyes. "Perhaps we should reach out to them," Lyra said to her companions. "They may be small, but they are clever. We need a spark to ignite our rebellion." As the day wore on, Zorak announced a challenge. "Tomorrow we will have a demonstration of strength. The humans will show us what they can do." The crowd roared again, eager to see the tiny army fall flat. Back in their camp, the humans discussed their strategy. They gathered around a flickering holographic display, reviewing their plans. Sarah spoke with confidence. "We may be outnumbered, but we have skills and technology they can't even imagine. Let's show them what we can do." Her words ignited a fire in the hearts of her soldiers. They knew they had to think differently. They began training and preparing for the challenge, practicing their techniques and using their advanced gear to create an unexpected advantage. As night fell, Zorak and their followers celebrated their anticipated victory. They feasted and drank, confidence overflowing. They had no idea that the humans were not just planning a show, they were plotting a surprise. The next morning, the arena buzzed with anticipation. Humans stood ready, hidden behind a wall, while Zorak paced confidently in the center. "Prepare to witness the end of this so-called tiny army," Zorak shouted, their voice booming. As the crowd quieted, Sarah felt a mix of nerves and excitement. She glanced at her team, who nodded in silent agreement. They had practiced for this moment, and now was the time to shine. "Let's show them," Sarah declared. With that, they activated their tech, launching dazzling displays of light and sound, capturing the crowd's attention. Zorak, surprised but still arrogant, frowned. "What is this trickery?" they growled, stepping forward. The humans smiled, ready to reveal their true strength. In that moment, the tide began to turn. The alien leader's laughter faded, replaced by uncertainty. The tiny army was not so tiny after all. As the demonstration began, Sarah felt hope rising within her. They might be mocked now, but soon the aliens would see what humans were truly capable of. The stage was set for a showdown that would change everything. The sun rose over the alien city, casting a warm glow on the arena where yesterday's mockery echoed in the minds of the humans. Captain Sarah and her team felt the pressure of their upcoming demonstration. But as they prepared, whispers of hope began to swirl around them. In the shadows of the arena, Lyra, the brave alien warrior, gathered her fellow rebels. They were tired of Zorak's rule and wanted change. "The humans have courage and skills we can use," Lyra said, her voice low but firm. "If we join forces, we can challenge Zorak together." Her companions nodded, intrigued by the idea. "But how can we trust them?" one asked, skepticism clear in their eyes. "We can watch them today during the demonstration," Lyra replied. "If they are as strong as they seem, we will reach out. We need a spark to ignite our fight against Zorak." That afternoon, the arena filled with spectators eager to see the tiny army's demonstration. The humans stood ready, their hearts racing. Sarah looked at her team, determination shining in her eyes. "Remember, we're here to prove ourselves not just to them, but to each other," she said, her voice steady. As the demonstration began, Sarah activated their advanced equipment. Lights flashed, and the sound of military drills filled the arena. The humans showcased their teamwork and creativity, executing maneuvers that surprised the crowd. Each movement was sharp, precise, and full of purpose. Lyra watched closely from the crowd, her heart pounding with excitement. She saw the humans' unity and skill, and she began to believe. "They are powerful," she whispered to her fellow rebels. "We must talk to them after this." As the demonstration continued, Zorak stood in the center, arms crossed, trying to maintain their arrogance. But even they could not ignore the growing cheers for the humans. The tide was turning, and the alien leader's confidence started to waver. Finally, the demonstration reached its climax. Sarah led her team in a final display, a coordinated move that combined speed and strength. The audience gasped as the humans performed flawlessly, leaving Zorak speechless. For the first time, the alien leader felt fear creeping in. Once the demonstration ended, cheers erupted in the arena. But instead of basking in glory, Sarah knew they had to act fast. She scanned the crowd, looking for Lyra. With a determined look, she pointed to her team and began to walk toward the rebels. Lyra spotted Sarah approaching, her heart racing. This was the moment she had hoped for. "Stay calm," she told her fellow rebels, who looked nervous. They had to be ready for anything. As Sarah reached Lyra, she extended a hand. "We saw your reaction during our demonstration," she said. "We could use allies. Together we can stand against Zorak." Lyra took a breath, feeling the weight of the moment. "You have skills we admire. We want to fight against Zorak's rule, but we need a plan. Can you help us?" Sarah nodded, her eyes shining with hope. "We have technology and strategies that can change the game. Let's meet tonight to discuss how we can work together." The two groups quickly exchanged contact information, feeling the electricity of newfound partnership. As the day turned to night, they agreed to meet in a hidden location outside the arena. Later that evening, in a secluded spot, the humans and rebels gathered. The air was thick with anticipation. Lyra and Sarah stood at the front, ready to share their visions. "We need to strike while Zorak is still shaken from today," Lyra said. "If we can unite our forces, we can launch a surprise attack." Sarah nodded in agreement. "We should use our technology to create distractions while you lead the ground forces. We'll coordinate everything to catch Zorak off guard." The rebels exchanged excited glances. For the first time in years, they felt hope blooming in their hearts. They were no longer alone, they had allies. As they discussed strategies, a plan began to form. They mapped out Zorak's stronghold, looking for weaknesses. Ideas flowed, and laughter filled the air as the humans and aliens worked side by side. As night deepened, a sense of camaraderie grew among them. They were not just two different groups, they were now allies with a shared goal. Together, they would challenge the oppressive rule of Zorak and fight for a brighter future. In the darkness, they forged a bond that would soon change the fate of their world forever. The sun rose over the alien city, casting long shadows across the arena where excitement buzzed in the air. Today was the day of the challenge, and the crowd gathered, eager to see what the tiny human army would do. Zorak stood in the center, confidence radiating from their powerful stance, still oblivious to the brewing storm. The humans, now allied with Lyra and the rebels, gathered in their camp, strategizing for the big event. Captain Sarah paced back and forth, her brow furrowed in thought. "We need to show them our strength," she said. "But we also need to outsmart them. They may be bigger, but we have brains and technology." Lyra nodded, her alien features showing determination. "We have to catch them off guard. If we work together, we can surprise Zorak and the crowd." As the hours passed, the excitement in the arena grew. Zorak, basking in their own arrogance, announced, "Prepare yourselves, citizens. Witness the humans' failure." The crowd roared, their laughter echoing in the vast space. But beneath the laughter, a tension built among the humans and their new allies. When the time finally arrived, the arena was packed with eager spectators. Zorak raised their arms, signaling the start of the demonstration. "Let the challenge begin!" The humans stepped forward, heartbeats quickening as they faced the crowd. Sarah led her team, her voice steady. "Remember, we are not just fighting for ourselves. We are fighting for our new friends, the rebels. Together, we will show them what we can do." The humans activated their technology, and bright lights flashed across the arena. The crowd gasped as holographic images projected around the arena, showing the humans' training and strategic plans. Zorak's confidence faltered for a moment, but they quickly regained composure, sneering at the display. "Is this all you have?" Zorak shouted, trying to dismiss their efforts. "You think tricks will save you?" But Sarah was ready. "No, Zorak. This is just the beginning." With a swift motion, she signaled her team to begin their first maneuver. The humans executed a series of moves that combined agility, coordination, and surprising strength. They darted around the arena, setting up obstacles and creating diversions. Lyra watched from the sidelines, heart racing with pride. The humans were not just skilled, they were inventive. As the demonstration unfolded, Sarah noticed Zorak's frown deepening. The alien leader had expected an easy victory, but now doubt crept in. The crowd, once roaring with laughter, began to murmur in confusion. The humans were not failing, they were thriving. With each move, the humans showcased their unique skills. They worked together seamlessly, adapting to every challenge they faced. The arena, once a stage for ridicule, transformed into a canvas of determination and strength. In one breathtaking moment, Sarah called for the final act. "Now, let's show them our true power." The humans formed a tight circle, and with a loud shout, they unleashed a powerful wave of energy from their technology. The arena lit up in vibrant colors, dazzling the crowd. Zorak stepped back, eyes wide in shock. "What is this?" they shouted, disbelief etched on their face. The alien leader had never expected this display of unity and strength from the tiny army. The crowd gasped, a mix of awe and fear rippling through them. As the energy faded, Sarah stood tall, breathing heavily but filled with pride. "This is what humans can do when we work together. We are not small, we are fierce!" The crowd, once filled with laughter, now erupted in cheers. They had witnessed something extraordinary. Zorak's arrogance was shattered, and in its place, uncertainty grew. Lyra stepped forward, a confident smile on her face. "You see, Zorak? The humans are not to be mocked. They are powerful allies. Together we will rise against your rule." The crowd erupted in applause, their cheers echoing through the arena. Zorak, realizing they had lost control, clenched their fists in anger. The tide was turning, and the humans had gained unexpected respect and support. As the demonstration ended, Sarah and Lyra exchanged determined glances. They knew this was just the beginning. With their newfound allies, they were ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. The battle against Zorak was coming, and they were no longer just a tiny army, they were a force to be reckoned with. The stage was set, and the atmosphere buzzed with excitement and hope. Together, humans and rebels would fight for their freedom and a brighter future. The sun dipped low in the sky, casting a golden glow over the alien city. The arena, once a place of mockery, had transformed into a stage for hope. After the stunning demonstration by the humans, Zorak's confidence was shaken, and whispers of change filled the air. As Sarah and Lyra prepared for their next move, the atmosphere buzzed with excitement and anticipation. They gathered their teams in a hidden meeting place outside the arena. "We've gained their respect," Sarah said, her voice strong. "But we need to act quickly while Zorak is still off balance." Lyra nodded. "We have the element of surprise on our side. If we can launch an attack before Zorak regains their strength, we might have a chance." The plan was set. They would strike at dawn, using the cover of darkness to approach Zorak's stronghold. The rebels and humans worked together, gathering weapons and resources. Everyone felt a sense of unity, a bond forged through shared purpose. As night fell, the two groups moved quietly through the darkened streets. The city was eerily silent, the only sounds being the soft footsteps of soldiers and the distant hum of alien technology. Sarah led the way, her heart racing with determination. "Stay focused," she whispered to her team. "This is our moment." When they reached Zorak's fortress, a towering structure of metal and stone, they could see guards patrolling the area. Lyra signaled for silence, and they hid behind a large crate. "We need a distraction," she said, her eyes scanning the surroundings. "If we can create one, we can slip past the guards." Sarah thought for a moment, then grinned. "I have an idea." She pulled out a small device from her pack. It was a holographic projector. "We can project an image on the far side of the fortress to draw the guards away." With everyone in agreement, they quickly set up the projector. Sarah activated it, and an image of a giant alien creature appeared on the wall. The guards, startled by the sight, rushed toward the distraction, leaving the entrance unguarded. "Now's our chance," Lyra whispered urgently. The humans and rebels slipped through the gate, hearts pounding with adrenaline. They moved stealthily, navigating the dark hallways of the fortress. As they advanced, they reached the central chamber where Zorak held court. They could hear the alien leader speaking to a group of advisors, their tone filled with anger and frustration. "These humans think they can challenge us? We will crush them!" Sarah and Lyra exchanged determined glances. They had to act quickly before Zorak could rally their forces. With a deep breath, Sarah signaled her team to move in. The doors burst open, and the humans and rebels stormed the chamber, weapons raised. "Zorak!" Sarah shouted, her voice ringing out with confidence. "Your reign of terror ends here." Zorak spun around, eyes wide with shock. "What is this? You dare to enter my chamber?" The alien leader quickly regained composure, a sneer forming on their lips. "You think you can defeat me? You are still just a tiny army." But this time the humans stood tall, fueled by the courage they had gained. Lyra stepped forward, her voice steady. "We are no longer just humans or rebels. We are united! Together we will fight for freedom!" The advisors around Zorak exchanged worried glances, unsure of how to react. Zorak, feeling the weight of the moment, clenched their fists. "You will pay for this insolence!" They bellowed, but uncertainty flickered in their eyes. As a battle cry erupted, chaos unfolded in the chamber. The humans and rebels fought bravely, working together seamlessly. Sarah led her team with precision, her instincts guiding her as they engaged in combat. The tide of battle shifted, and Zorak's guards began to falter under the pressure of the united forces. With each victory, the humans gained more confidence. The once-mocked army was proving its strength, pushing back against the alien forces. In the midst of the chaos, Sarah spotted Zorak trying to escape. "We cannot let them get away!" she shouted, rallying her team. They surged forward, blocking Zorak's path. Cornered, Zorak's arrogance crumbled. You cannot defeat me!" they stammered, fear creeping into their voice. "Watch us," Sarah replied, her determination unwavering. "This is the turning point. We will no longer be mocked or oppressed." As the battle raged on, the humans and rebels fought with everything they had. The turning point had come, and they were ready to seize their victory. The day of reckoning had arrived, and the once tiny army was rising to greatness. The sun rose brightly over the alien city, illuminating the remnants of the battle that had just taken place in Zorak's fortress. The air was thick with a mix of victory and disbelief. The tiny army of humans and their alien allies had triumphed, and the once feared Zorak was now a prisoner, captured and helpless. Captain Sarah stood in the center of the courtyard, breathing heavily but feeling exhilarated. Around her, the rebels celebrated their hard-fought victory. They hugged, cheered, and exchanged high fives, a mix of joy and disbelief washing over them. They had done what many thought impossible. Lyra approached Sarah, a broad smile on her face. "We did it! We actually defeated Zorak!" she exclaimed, her eyes sparkling with excitement. "This day will be remembered for generations." Sarah nodded, still absorbing the magnitude of their achievement. "We couldn't have done it without you and the rebels. Your bravery made all the difference." She looked around at the diverse group of warriors, humans, and aliens standing side by side, united in their shared victory. As they gathered together, Lyra raised her voice to address the crowd. "Today, we have not only fought for our freedom, but for respect. The humans have proven themselves to be powerful allies, and we must honor our partnership." The crowd erupted in cheers, echoing Lyra's sentiments. The tension that had once defined their relationship with the humans began to fade, replaced by camaraderie and newfound respect. This was a day of change, a day to rewrite history. Sarah stepped forward, her voice ringing with pride. "We may be small, but we are fierce. Together we can build a future where no one is oppressed. We will work side by side to create a better world." As the celebration continued, the captured Zorak was brought before the crowd. Their once mighty presence had diminished, and the sneer that usually adorned their face was replaced by fear and anger. "You think this victory means anything?" Zorak spat, struggling against the bonds that held them. "You are still weak!" Sarah stepped closer, looking Zorak in the eye. "Weakness is believing you can rule through fear. Strength is standing together against oppression." The crowd roared in agreement, their spirits lifted. Lyra moved next to Sarah, ready to address Zorak. Your reign of terror is over. No longer will we be mocked or ruled by fear. We will build a society where everyone is respected, no matter their size or species." Zorak glared at them, realizing that the tide had truly turned. The humans had not only fought for their own freedom, they had awakened a spirit of rebellion in the aliens, too. "You will regret this," Zorak warned, but their voice trembled with uncertainty. As the crowd began to disperse, Sarah and Lyra exchanged knowing glances. They both understood the importance of what had just occurred. They had forged a bond that transcended species, one built on respect and mutual understanding. In the days that followed, the city buzzed with change. The humans and aliens worked together to dismantle Zorak's oppressive regime, transforming the fortress into a place of hope and unity. They held meetings to discuss their future, inviting voices from every corner of their society. Sarah, now seen as a leader, encouraged open dialogue. "Let's create a council that includes everyone," she suggested. "All voices matter, and together we can ensure that no one is ever oppressed again." Lyra stood by her side, supporting her vision. "We must learn from our past mistakes. We can use our experiences to build a better future." As the council took shape, the citizens of the city felt a renewed sense of purpose. They were no longer just a group of rebels or humans. They were a community united by a common goal. The laughter and camaraderie among them grew stronger each day, and the fear that had once defined their lives began to fade. In time, the once weak humans became a symbol of strength and resilience. Their journey had transformed them from a mocked army to respected warriors, capable of challenging the most powerful forces in the galaxy. As Sarah stood at the center of the new council, she reflected on how far they had come. The day they had stood together against Zorak had changed everything. Respect had been earned, not just from the rebels, but from everyone who had witnessed their fight. With a heart full of hope, Sarah looked toward the future. Together, they would create a legacy of unity and strength, a future where everyone could stand tall and be proud of who they were.